Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to this Enlifement space. Take a few moments to feel this connection with the true self that is present as one and all. Allow it, embrace it, find it within yourself. Solom kosha veniamna kaitnam sachona ishaka lanoshama venibrenom kar nasation seshanya ho alalam sakyano usu salam shani akachu lamnola ilam shaka vishnasam ushun karushna akaid indam makasho lakosha ni esho vandam sha nikten shenom kasajin nikte shomlakin lako sokla Venia Krishnendram Kontam Sachailik Nishno Laknamira Socha Dang Push Nakta Imrin Akat Undrea Kadishneklon Tukashibrin Akadashnak Omdra Akata Sache Nektusha Vanom Kashai Divish Darum. Upon the rising in the morning, you have the opportunity to choose who you are going to be for that day. I know the intellect says you don't have a choice, but you do. When you recognize that life is made up, I know you think it's made up for you or someone else is pulling strings. No, we create ourselves moment by moment by what we believe, by what we accept, what we allow, what we embrace, and what we know. My job is to increase your ability to receive this knowing within yourself. Not the words or concepts, but the energy. Words are like packets of energy that purvey something as a thought, as a field. To become receptive to that, one in some ways must abandon the beliefs or concepts or expectations. For there can be no expectation in the light. There is only the light that is this awareness, the light that is this presence. And it's always expanding its dominion. So when those that willingly participate in this space, they are inviting this light, this awareness, this presence into the very core of their true self. And it's not like it's something alien or something different, because it already is you. It just needs this acknowledgement that it is there. When you own this consciousness for yourself, you can't help but become that. It just follows, because it becomes the dominating thought, the awareness, the desires, and the presence of your total being. And it's experienced in stages, various possibilities, their experiences. And so to own one's experience in this life, to embrace it, to allow that it's possible that there's more to it than what the intellect is saying or what the outside is saying. You find after a while that it's hard to get validation from the outside, because all that is outside is simply involved in itself. It's that, what is that? Me first society, me first. What's in it for me? So abandoning that, one begins to have a different kind of experience, an experience of real presence, which reveals greater possibilities for the human experience. Most live a life in limitation, brought on by fear, resistance, desires, running away from what might be. It takes courage to face and to embrace this isness, great courage, because it defies everything about what one believes is to be true. It defies the systems, the structures, the beliefs, the religions, the philosophies, all of it. If one can use those things as simply tools, like a step in a direction, and it's impossible to really know what the destination of this destination is. Where are we going? What are we to become? As a consciousness, as the fullness of this experience, one's whole existence is transformed. The body becomes renewed and transformed. Things that were problems before disappear. And it's important not to look for them. You know, it's your friends will come and say, well, did you get over that? Oh, thanks for reminding me. I was over it till now. So we call into this awareness, these experiences. We call into this awareness our beliefs, our concepts, our desires. So a place to reside is in the very heart of your true self, and be very aware of any interference that comes from the outside. For the past calls to you, the future calls to you in the form of regret or fear or hope. But those things are really a waste of your energy. We want to keep this energy in ourselves, not as selfish, but as sustaining reliability of what we are becoming in this world. We use the energy of our life force to evolve ourselves. And so we are in a state of transcendence. We are constantly becoming more of what is possible for this self. The intellect, the stories, the systems, the structures all point to limitations. But when you live in your heart of being, of truth, you know no limitation, you know no boundary. You simply see opportunities to rise above whatever there is there. So we are always in a state of rising, rising above what seems to be a problem, what seems to be a blockage, what seems to be something that's wrong. We not deny what is going on in this world, but we also don't condone it. We know the world is in a shape of chaos and destruction and limitations and fear. And now, what's different? It has always been the condition of the outside. It has always been that way. People seek heaven, longing for paradise. But there is no paradise, there is no heaven. There is only the creation that we create from our beliefs, our concepts, our conditioning, and above all, our knowing. If you can develop a very strong sense of knowing, you literally move yourself into a creation that is transcendent of the world around you. It's not denial. You can't really transcend anything unless you know it's there. You don't jump over a hurdle or an obstacle if you don't know it's there. You'll fall over it. So we want to know what is going on around us, but also not to give it power. For not giving it power keeps us in a place of serenity, of allowing and becoming. That is what consciousness is. That is what this space does. It allows us to become more through each experience. We don't run from experience, we embrace it. We welcome it. We treat experiences as friends coming for a visit. And some friends we just soon not to visit, and others we are welcome to visit. We see in that we are conditioned to say something is right and something is wrong. Something is off, something is on. So to see a different view from the true self is to be open to life, to be open to experiences, to be open to, above all, your true self. So this is really about finding the true self. What is the true self? Where does it live? What is it doing? How does it exist? What's its purpose? These are all things that you give to the true self. You decide from within yourself, from your own personal experiences, just what is it going to be? I know it's kind of strange in a way to come to the realization that we are self-created. Self-created. You create yourself through experiences, through desires, through wishes, through acquaintances. All of it is contributing to the self that you are becoming. So, means that you are the guardian of this self. You decide just what will become part of what you are. I know that may sound too simplified, but really, to think it is difficult is to deny the power of your being, the power of your saying, the power of your knowing. So you are a very powerful being that lives in this realm of chaos, of destruction, of all the stuff that is going on. But to realize that you are observing it, that you're not it. The it that you are is reserved for a higher dimensional experience as you embrace these possibilities. We're not escaping. We're actually moving deeper and deeper and deeper into the whole matrix of existence. So as one sees within themselves, there is this power of becoming. And mostly it is directed by one's knowing what is possible. One desires from the outside some great being that comes and fixes things. But the ultimate realization is that you are that being that fixes things. You fix them through the power of knowing, through acceptance, through transcendence, and through allowing. Nothing ever happens through resistance. It's always taking place through embracing, allowing, knowing. So we cease resisting and we embrace becoming. That is what our life is, becoming. I have spent years working on this process, not really working on it, possibly allowing it to see what it comes, how it works, what it does, what's it for. And still, there is this mystery of the self, a true mystery of just what is its potential. I find its potential piece by piece, experience by experience, moment by moment. And life says, Ishvara, be content with what is. For what is all of it. You just see through the small pieces of it. So to rest assured that it is all there, waiting for this becoming, waiting for this allowing, waiting for this transcendence. And I guess it's best that the intellect doesn't really know. It would probably scare itself to know what's coming. But it is the mastership of life that comes from allowing and acceptance and embracing and allowing the experiences as they are. To live fearlessly and consciously in this connection, moment by moment. It is such an opportunity to find out something very special about yourself. I know what is special about you. I'm very much aware of what you are and where you are and how you are. That is part of what I do. That is part of my beingness, is to know. And I try to share that knowing with you on these occasions. So it is a great delight for me to be of service to you moment by moment. I appreciate you being a part of the space. Being with me in this awareness is such a wondrous adventure for all of us. Thank you for playing and being a part of this moment.
Ishvara, some weeks ago, you said that the brain creates time and space. Could you say anything more about
Nope. Scary, scary. Well, if you think about it, well, not too hard, but uh, what is time and what is space? It takes time to move through space, does it? So we measure movement by time. So if you want to go several hundred feet, it takes a few minutes, or I don't know how slow you are, how fast you are. So when we recognize that time is cycles, space is distances, we see that our real awareness of this takes place in the mind, the intellect. And so an example is that when you're having fun, you'll say, "Where'd the time go?" Now, of course, it went faster while you were having fun. You know that. Everybody knows it goes faster when you're having fun. And it goes very, very slow when you're not having fun. Yeah? See, it's in the mind. It's the same. The clock ticks minute by minute, and the space is its space. It is our intellect that is experiencing our mind field that experiences the movement, the perceptions. And so we could say, in certain ways, that time does not really exist. It's an arbitrary measurement that we've devised to keep order for things. Because I know you've probably had experiences of timelessness. Well, an example is at night when you're sleeping. If you're having a good sleep, a few minutes later it's time to get up. But if you're not having a good sleep, it's like a day has went by and you're waiting for morning. So perception, it's an element of perception with time that plays such a big role. So does time actually exist? Does it? It's a duration of consciousness. And we have devices that measure that duration of consciousness. But again, those are under the control of beliefs and concepts. So time and space are intermixed and in ways and very often non-existent. It's a state of mind. So it's handy to have time because it keeps everything from happening at one time, all at once. It would be confusing, wouldn't it? So, but again, time stretches and shrinks according to the experiences that we're having in space. So, is it a process of the mind? What do you think? Yeah. Yeah, we have this choice. We can just we can just go through life being at the mercy of everything, or we can go through life being the boss of everything. I, say again. I lost track.
Hey, Anna, can you ask that again, please?
Yeah,
Yes.
I got that. Yeah. When when we look at time as an element of mind, we begin to recognize that it shrinks and expands according to experiences. People always say, "Where'd the time go?" Well, it didn't go anywhere. It's just moving right along like it always does. The earth going around and the sun and all that. So when we recognize that our interpretation, our beliefs, and our conditioning create the experience that we have with time. So if a person is stressed or sad or depressed, time can move very slowly. Now, it's moving the same as always. So what is it that's moving slowly? The space is there, but it's our experience, our play with it is the factor. So to recognize that if one is having a off day, what's off? It is you, your mind, your focus is off. So you refocus yourself. Uh, you say, "Who am I? What am I doing? How am I?" And you call yourself back to your true self. And then you become kind of a timeless being. Time doesn't have such a strong hold on you. And you're not watching the clock, you're not counting the minutes, the seconds. And so one's space has become more dominating. And so what's in the space, what's taking place in our space now? And we begin to see that it's an element of our thinking process, our mind, our beliefs, our concepts, our conditioning. And we're conditioned from very early in life to be attached to time. It's time to go to bed. It's time to wake up. It's time to eat. It's time to sleep. It's time to do this. It's time to do that. Time to take your shower. As a kid, you're told it's time. It's time. It's time. And so it's so connected to one's experience of space that they're almost indiscernible. So in certain ways, we could say space and time are really the same thing, just from a different viewpoint. It's part of our experience. So we say we run out of time. How do you run out of time? It's not a commodity. I suppose some people treat it as such. I mean, you get paid by the hour. And so it's a commodity in a way, but it still is that it's a measurement of space, the experience of space moment by moment. And it's easy to put it into time frame because it keeps things kind of orderly. Everything's not happening all at once. Sometimes I just would assume or wish things, everything could happen at once and get it over with. We could transform this world everything could be done with. All of it needs to be done is being done, and we're through. We're through with it. But it's not quite that easy. Now, it would be if everybody would agree with me, you see. Everything would be different if everyone would believe what I'm saying, but people don't. I've pretty much given up on people accepting that I'm even here, because they say, well, who is here? Well, that's for you to find out, for me to know, you see. Because the experience of this is very transcendent of all the earthly kind of interpretations. So what am I? How do I exist? I know I exist, but how and what? What is it? And I'm waiting patiently for people to catch up, to finally realize what it is to be this life force, this consciousness, and to realize that no one is separate from that. And once the person realizes they are not separate from that, they're going to have a wonderful transcendent experience of timelessness and spacelessness. So,
Shantara from Venmo Land says, thanks, Ishvara.
you're welcome, Shantara. Thank you for being in this space with us today. Thank you for your love and your support, as I love and support you.